Hi crafty friend, it's Justine Dvorak from Stationery by Justine, or When I Craft, My World Stands Still. Welcome to my channel if you are new, and welcome back if you are a returning viewer. I'm so happy you're here because I have a lot of fun things to show you. I will be showing you the Spellbinders clubs for November. I am going to do this a little bit quicker than normal, and I'm also going to show you some things I brought in because I've actually already worked with all of the clubs except the wax seal, which I will get to later this month, so you can see an image of that on my Instagram later. But here is the beautiful wax seal. It's called Chin Chin, which is Italian for cheers. Hooray! It's really pretty, and I will be using it, so be on the lookout for that. And then there is a mixed bead set that is the coral color. So there's 4 colors in there. You can get beautiful wax seals. I'm also pulling in 3 different pattern papers from scrapbook.com. I will have these linked down below as well. I'll show you what cards they are in as I go along. So those are Harvest, Bouquet, and Sweet Boo. Love that. Now I love a Spellbinders paper, so I am going to pull in some of the treasured cardstocks. I have black, rose gold, and the ruby, which is also the red. Really beautiful. I'm going to be using different textures from these packs in this video. I'm so excited to show you them though. It's just so fun. Oh, I am also going to play with the snap and slides from Pear Blossom Press, and then a coordinating die from Trinity, which makes them move. So fun. There will be a spinning egg in this video. So there's that. As always, I will place a timestamp on the screen if you want to go ahead and skip past what I am using and just get to the actual card making. You can totally do that. Skip to this timestamp in the video. All right, let's talk about the clubs. Here is the small die of the month. It is so adorable. I'm going to put the picture of it here from Spellbinders, but it has lots of little brunch critters, and it's just so adorable with all the faces. And like I said, here's the egg. I will have a spinning egg in this video. I am going to pull in this set as well. This is not a club item. It's Sip Sip Olay. I'm pulling in the avocado and the lime. I will have pictures of what else I did with this collection on my Instagram. I have a really fun margarita card, so if that is something you're interested in, here's a picture of it, and check it out on Instagram as well. I have more from this collection on Instagram, but I will pop the margarita one on the screen. Now, the glimmer of the month is so gorgeous. It is called Luxe Links, and there is also a Glimmer hot foil roll that comes with the Glimmer subscription. This month it is Blush. So gorgeous. There we go. 2 sentiments as well. I will show those later in the video. Now, the BetterPress is so lovely. It is a registration template style press plate. I will go over how I will use this for BetterPress, and I will also show you how I glimmer it, because I'm going to do a paper pieced card that is glimmered and BetterPress. So I'm so excited, and I love so much that the sentiments are press once, glimmer once, press once or glimmer once, and die cut once, and you get 5 sentiments in the time that it would take to get 1. Now, the large die of the month is incredible. Oh my goodness. I'm going to use this a bunch. Be prepared for lots of fun cards coming your way. It's a purse and then keychains, or you can just choose to use the keychains or just the purse. We're going to come back to the flying pig in just a minute. Set him off to the side. Stitching die is a dog and a bag. Couldn't get any cuter. I'm going to make a Legally Blonde card as we do. If there's any Swifties out there, we'll just say boring Barbie. If you know, you know. All right, I'm pulling in an old die from Spellbinders called Fluted Classic Circles to make a little paper plate. This is one of my favorite dies of all time in my craft room. I wish that this was still available. Spellbinders, if you're watching, bring something like this back because it's so good. Moving on. I have 2 embossing folders here for the month. We have the 3D embossing folder and the regular embossing folder. This one is quilted. It gives a beautiful 3D look. I will be using this one and this one, of course, in the video. I'm also pulling from my stash this hand, which is just so fun. And I'm going to make a silly card. So prepare yourself for that. This is also from Spellbinders. In the die set, there's also this hand. I will put the name of this die set in, well, this will be in the links down below where I have all the things I used. You can see it there. Not sure why I put this off to the side. The stencil. I have the stencil right now in my kitchen drying, so I'm just going to show you this very odd piece of paper of what the stencil looks like. I need to cut this down and put it into my packaging, but it is so gorgeous. It is a cherry striped background. This background is going to be one of my favorite cards of the month, so stay tuned for that. Phew, we are moving right along. Now, if you get all of the caboodle items, so everything I showed as a club, not the extra stuff, but the club, you will get this flying little pig die, and I'm putting that on my cherry card, so stay tuned. I am so excited. And I'm going to be using items from Glassboard Studio that are new to Glassboard Studio in my craft room in this video. They are hot off the Glassboard Studio press, if you will. Things are falling. I'm so sorry. But they are these trays. And they're so innovative. Okay? There are 3 sizes like this. 1, a 2, a 3. They go right on the edge of your glassboard. Right now mine is tilted, but it goes right on the edge of your glassboard when it is flat, and it is perfect for storing little die cut pieces, gems, rhinestones, paper scraps, anything like that. They're so wonderful. And then there's these edges that are for dumping out your scraps. I have been using them, but not on camera. So this is my first time you're seeing them on my channel. The backside has these lovely little feet that help it to not slide around. They don't have magnets, but like, look, that's pretty, okay, well, it fell, but it's pretty secure. It's not magnetized, but it has those little grippy feet, so it's not going to go sliding all over. But let's talk about secure backs, okay? First of all, I have all these sentiments that I'm just going to dump out so I can show you what these are. These have magnets on the back, and they are really strong. And you can see, not moving. The board's actually moving more than you can see the board moving. And then to get it off, you just simply lift it off. But if you were to push or to have things fall in your craft room, yeah, we never have that, right? I definitely have craft-a-lanches in my craft room, and it wouldn't have gems flying everywhere as we do. And then also you can put ink pads in these guys. They're helpful for ink blending. There's a craft-a-lanche. You heard it here, folks. Little ink pads will fit in there, so when you are ink blending, you can really get into there and it's not going to move around. My desk is actually shaking as I do this. Okay, so it's pretty strong. And then in this video, I'm actually just going to use them for some embellishment storage and such. And I will use it for my ink pad for my heat embossing. So that's kind of fun. But like I said, they're newish to my craft room. I've had them for a while. This is my first video showing them on camera. So I thought I got to talk about them because they're really cool. They're new. And as crafters, we like all of our little fun gadgets a lot. So I figured I would share these with you as well. They come in a ton of colors. So if this color is not your jam, if you love yellow, orange, black, purple, pink, whatever, they have it there. So definitely check out Glassboard Studio. All right, let's get into the cards for November from Spellbinders. So many fun things up ahead. So grab a snack, grab some water, and let's get crafting. Before we dive into the crafting, I do want to mention one more thing that I pulled from my stash and then one more club because I forgot to talk about the stamping. Yes, it's been a day. Okay, so this nesting die is one that is new to my stash, and just try to pry this out of my crafty hands. Like I said, I loved the die set from Spellbinders that had the circles, those fluted circles. This one really reminds me of that, but rectangles. This one does have those little dots, which I love, those little punch and pierce style dots. But look at this rectangle set. I love these little lines. It just adds so much. Should I just give you a little sneaky peek at one of the cards I made? Look at that edge. So pretty. Not to be a tease or anything, but this will come later in the video. But I just love the texture of this nesting die. You know I love a nesting die if you've watched my videos, so we'll just leave it at that. This one is called Linear Touch Rectangles and Tag. Yes, tag, because I'm from Minnesota and I say tag. Tag. I tag. Unhinged. Completely unhinged. Okay. So the stamping die of the month, I have a picture popped on the screen here. There's also coordinating dies for all of the things, which we love. I love when the sentiments have coordinating dies, and then all three of the little gal pals have coordinating dies as well. So there is not a die for the dog, but I think there is a little bit of a workaround. Nope, just kidding. There's no workaround. The dogs are going opposite directions. So I guess technically you could put one of these little poocheroos next to the other lady, or you could pop it in the purse even. I don't know. I'm seeing dogs in purses now that I've been stitching and such. Okay, now let's get into the crafting. Per usual, I am starting off with the glimmering and BetterPressing because I love a sparkly moment. I'm grabbing some foil from my stash. Now this is probably 3 years old, but it is part of an old Christmas pack, and it is Crimson Stars. I'm also using this color Blush, which is part of the Glimmer subscription for this month. What I'm using on the blush is this patterned paper from scrapbook.com. And it does feel pretty smooth as I'm working here, so I'm just going to take a risk and foil it, because why not? Cue in Hilary Duff. Anyway, I'm going to set my little gal here onto my glimmer machine. Then I have my foil shiny side down with the gray side touching my paper. Think gray glue. The glue is where the sticky part is what is going to make it actually stick. It's not technically sticky, but that's what I remember when I am glimmering. I'm going to put her kind of in the middle, going the vertical direction so it does not create any speed bumps as I run it through my platinum once it is hot. As that heats up, I'm going to grab some treasured textured cardstock. I'm going to grab the Mirror Metallic. It's so shiny. And I also have the red version, or the ruby one. And I'm going to do a glimmer with the pearl version as well. Look how gorgeous this little gal is going to be. This is going to be more of a mixed media style card than I'm going to do with the BetterPress this month, just for fun. I will actually be fussy cutting out the gal's accessories and her skirt. So just on the first peel and reveal, it might be a little womp underwhelming, but I promise you it's going to be cool. And that's why I used a scrap of this pattern paper and not a full piece, because we're going to get fussy cutting out in honor of World Fussy Cutting Day that happened in October. All right, this glimmer plate is very classy and kind of just kind of fancy looking. So I'm going to go for a look that is a little more sophisticated with this look. And I'm going to make several purse cards in this video. If you are a craft roulette person, you know who you are, and maybe comment purse down below. And if you know, purse is kind of like one of those words that people don't want to make purse cards on craft roulette, but I think after this month of Spellbinders clubs, purse card will not be so intimidating anymore. That is not the secret word for this video. So, but that's just, if you're a craft roulette person, you know that purse cards are one of those things that are kind of dreaded, dare I say, but I like a purse card. But now I have lots of options for purse cards thanks to these clubs. So whenever that does come up on the craft roulette wheel, I'll be ready. Okay, as that is glimmering, I'm going to use my time efficiently and use my Fiskars spring-loaded scissors. These are my favorite for fussy cutting. They have the spring, so it just saves my hand a little bit by opening for me. Call me lazy, whatever, but I'm just protecting my hands because my hands are a gift and I don't want to deal with carpal tunnel any sooner than I probably will. So I like a spring-loaded scissors for fussy cutting. It just works really well for me. I love a scissor, so I don't discriminate against scissors, you know, or really anything, but these are great for fussy cutting. All right, my glimmer is ready. So I'm going to put my shims on top. I use the clear one and the tealish greenish one on top as well. And I'll just take that off to the side, run it through my platinum. I have the 9 or 8.5 inch one. I am really considering getting the 6-inch one so I can show it more on camera. And just because my 8.5 is pretty big and my work surface is not the biggest for filming, but you know, I have something else that will work for now, so we're just going to go with it. But just know I ran it through my die cutting machine, which is my platinum 8.5. Now this is going to be so gorgeous. Are you ready? Oh my goodness. Just perfectly foiled. I will just tell you that I have stared at this longer than is shown on video because I'm just stunned and amazed by Glimmer. I think it's so gorgeous. All right, enough of looking at it. We're going to move on. I'm going to glimmer one more thing because I can't help it. That's just so fun to do the shimmery things, and I'm going to use that Crimson Star, and I'm just going to show you the peel and reveal because I did the same process with this panel that I did for my black shiny cardstock. Look how gorgeous that is. Wow. I don't actually make a card with this one today, but I will be using it later this month, probably with some wax seals. So be sure to subscribe to my channel and check out my Instagram, Stationery by Justine, to see more card inspiration. I have lots of cards going up on there all of the time, so be sure to check that out. I think you will find some inspiration in at least one or two of the cards that I show. Now I'm going to take pewter, which is kind of like a gunmetal gray, and I'm going to glimmer some sentiments. I'm using all of the BetterPress ones because remember they come in a whole panel, so I can glimmer once, cut once, and I'm also going to glimmer the 2 glimmered sentiments. So I'll just turn off my glimmer machine as I am finished glimmering for today and just put these away. I've been really trying to keep my work surface tidy as I work. My brain just wants to be messy, but my brain functions better when things are a little bit more tidy. So I'm trying, you know. Look how gorgeous this pewter is with the Glimmer cardstock. That is the white paper that I'm using. Super smooth, and it works so perfectly for glimmering every single time. So shiny. I love all the dog and like furry themed sentiments. They're just really cute. Now I have finished fussy cutting out the teeny tiny shoes, her beret, and her skirt, and then I fussy cut around her hand. So we will need a lady to put all of those beautiful little things on. So I'm going to use the registration template that comes with this BetterPress. So what I do for registration is make sure the logo that says BetterPress and the name of it, which is BetterPress November 2025, is facing the right way. If it is backwards or upside down, your card will be backwards. And things will be fine. It's just having the girl go the other direction, and it will be kind of confusing. So make sure you have the logo facing up on the bottom. I'm going to choose a BetterPress ink. I have lots to choose from. This is your friendly reminder. You can use any ink and any paper to BetterPress. You will get different results. I want a textured look and I want my ink to dry right away. So I am using BetterPress paper. I'm actually using the one that is bisque today. So it's not the white one. It's more of like a cream. And I'm using Taffy and Iris for my project. Iris is this gorgeous purple, and it is newish to Spellbinders this year. And this is what my girl is going to be mostly stamped on. So gorgeous. I love this purple. And I'll just run that through my same 8.5 inch platinum. Ta-da! When I do that, I just make sure I hold on to the sides or the bottom and don't press down on the top when I'm transporting it. And it turned out perfectly. Oh my, look how cute she's going to look with her little hat and skirt and shoes. I'll tell you a little story. I did drop my craft stack there later, and I lost a shoe. And why did I take that off? I should not have taken that off, but it's fine. Just pretend you didn't see that. All right, I am going to clean this off. I'm using cleaner from LDRS Creative, which stands for Little Darling Rubber Stamps. And I'm just going to spray that onto a microfiber cloth and then just wipe away any of the ink on my BetterPress plate. I find this is the best ink that works for me in my craft room for cleaning my BetterPress plates. And if you want to grab it, go to ldrscreative.com. And if you want to buy anything on their website, you can get 15% off all the time, multiple times, because my friend Melanie has a code for you, Melanie15, and I have permission to share that code with you. Melanie's my bestie, and it would be fantastic to get a discount, so why not? So that is code Melanie15. Also, check out Melanie's YouTube channel, Melanie Smith, on YouTube, and she has fantastic stuff there. I'm going to write myself a note. I will link Melanie's video down in the description so you can see her channel. She is recovering from surgery, so she would love to see some love and some comments on her videos. So if you go to her channel, I guarantee you'll be inspired and watch a few things. Let her know that what you're thinking of her cards. If you stop by, leave a comment and say hi. She's fantastic and just such a fantastic lady and amazing artist. So you can see there, I kind of showed, you can see the texture. It is pushed into the paper. It's not like an embossing folder, so you're not going to get like crazy big bumps or anything like that, but you will get a little bit of a press in there. Now I want sentiments because I love sentiments. So I'm using my grid, and I have an A2 panel. It's actually a little bit smaller than an A2. And I have my BetterPress big black ink pad and my bisque paper. And I'll just make a bunch of sentiments. This is how I like to have sentiments, is just to do it on hand, get the plate dirty one time, press it out a few times, and then I have sentiments to use later. I'm going to turn this all the way around, and then I don't have to move my press plate, and I can get 2 full panels. Now you might be asking yourself, why is it crooked? Well, because I needed to fit it into the bottom half of the grid, and if it was straight, it would be popping out the side. So that is why. And now I have, what is that, 10 sentiments now? 5? It keeps moving. Yes, 10. Then I'll just take this one die and boom, die cut out 10 sentiments in probably less than 2 minutes. How cool is that? I think it's so cool. All right, I'll clean this one and we will be moving right along. Look how clean that comes. I tell you, it really is the best cleaner for BetterPress that I have found. And why not save a little bit of do-re-mi by using Melanie's code? All right, we'll remove that. And now it is time to die cut those out. I wanted just to show you this because I am just obsessed with my Anna Griffin die cutting machine, because it just kind of presses and die cuts, and it just is so effortless because of that magnetic panel. And it really is like no other magnetic die cutting tool that I've used before. I'm not going to name names of anyone else that I've tried, but I really think this is the best one. It is a little bit more spendy. I saved my little crafty budget up for it, and I really love it. All right, let's get inky. Let's use the stencil of the month. This is sped up quite a bit, so you're going to see my hands looking all sorts of crazy, looking like a squirrel in the fall, gathering all of the nuts. But I'm using my Altenew stamp wheel because it has that sticky pad underneath it, and I just find that when I'm ink blending or using stencils, I need something to hold my stencil down more than just tape, more than a magnet. I'm just very aggressive, so I need something to stick. So I'm using Kitsch Flamingo and Spun Sugar as my inks. I'm going to use a variety of brushes. The bigger ones that I'm holding, like the one I'm holding right now, is from Trinity. That is the Blending Buddy. I have the whole rainbow. I love all of them. They are fantastic. I cannot tell you how fantastic they are, but they really are. And then the little ones off to the side are the shading sidekicks, and they are wonderful as well. They give more of a shading. And after using these now for a few months, I don't want to use the other blending brushes. I'm spoiled now. These are so good. And I'm not just saying that because I'm on the Trinity design team, but they are so good, I tell you. And they have a little lid there. You just tilt it in at an angle, twist, and then all the brushes are inside. They are amazing. And it just gets that ink down so quickly. Now, these Distress inks are going to be kind of bright. So I'm using the lime green one, which is Twisted Citron, I think, and then Mowed Lawn. I am going to bring in detail brushes from Spellbinders. I know I said I don't want to use any other ones, but the ones from Spellbinders are the exception because they are so skinny and little, and they're going to help me get into this beautiful stencil. So those are the detail brushes. I think you can get a 3-pack of them for under $10. They're very reasonably priced. Oh, these cherries are going to be so fun. My inspiration for this card was Betsy Johnson, and she is a fantastic fashion designer extraordinaire, and that really was kind of my inspiration, was her bright colors and her just kind of like kitschy vibe. So that's the whole thing that we're going for here. These cherries are just so bright and fun, and it's going to match the dye that is the cherry so well. What I did there was just wipe off any of that red ink because I'm going to go in now with the detail brush and just kind of ombre ink blend the leaves with the little skinny brush from Spellbinders. I just think these are so adorable. I wish I could pass this through the screen to you so you could try these little brushes out. They are fun. So fun. And it's very relaxing, just putting ink down where you want it and seeing what you get. And now I'm taking that same brush. Yes, I did not switch because why? It's just ink, right? And I'm putting the darker color down just to give it a little ombre moment. This is the 5th and final stencil for this. And we are going to use black because I love black, and Betsy Johnson, it's a very bold vibe. So I'm using Soot and the big Blending Buddy from Trinity with my black blending buddy that I have, and just getting that all over, and that will just bring the intense vibes to the background here. Oh, it's so good. It's going to dry down a little lighter, but it's very dramatic, and I love that. Okay, now I have some pig pieces. You saw I did ink those as well. And I do have a little mouth for the cherry. I have an egg. I have holographic straps for my purse. And I have a ton of dice. So I will just be kind of going through my little assembly here as I go. But I did just want to highlight that holographic paper that I used to die cut out the straps and the chains for the keychains is from Pajama Crafter Stamps. Now, I do have a little bit of an announcement for you. I am now going to be the design team coordinator for Pajama Crafter Stamps. I feel very honored to be working with them at all in the first place, and then to be taking on this role has been really fun and kind of a new challenge. So I'm excited to see what that brings. And so if you haven't checked out Pajama Crafter Stamps, now would be a great time to do so. They have fantastic paper, stamps, they have dies, they have stencils. So check it all out. I think you'll like it. I know I really do. And chances are, if you've subscribed to my channel, you've probably seen their products on my channel. But you know what would be really cool? If you went over to the Pajama Crafter Stamps YouTube channel and subscribed. I don't typically ask for subscriptions and stuff for things like that, because it just isn't really who I really am. I don't say like, oh, you have to subscribe, but I really would love if you did subscribe to the Pajama Crafter Stamps YouTube channel, because it is a small business, and you know how the internet is with there's a lot out there, but my little mini goal for that channel is to get to 1,000 by the end of the year. So we have about a month and 2 months left. So I think we can do it. So that would be great. And if you do, you're not just going to subscribe and then just be like, okay, bye, I'm never going to see this again. No, we have a lot of great videos going up there. We have a new design team that is part of a video team. So there is a ton of different people on there putting up videos. It's not just one or two people like it used to be. It's a variety. So you're going to see a variety of different styles using similar products. It's so cool. So I think that you'll enjoy that. So pop over to Pajama Crafter Stamps here on YouTube. I will link that down below as well. All of the links. And I think you will enjoy their things. And they have some big things coming out for next year. So I think you will like to stick around and be in the know. Now this die is super cute. It's just one set of die. So a dice, but it's dice all together, but it's one die that is a die. And I'm just going to take all these little scraparoos and just add it all around the purse so it looks like a continuous pattern. And then I chopped them off the sides and then adding them back onto the sides, hopefully to keep the pattern continuing along. I am using my little detail scissors here from scrapbook.com, Spellbinders, that are anti-stick. So any of the glue there would not stick to my scissors. Love that. I told you I love scissors. So there you go. I'm going to trim this down to 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. Nope, sorry. I'm going to trim it down to be I'm not actually sure. I think that was I will measure it really quick here. It was 4 inches by 5 1/4, because I'm going to take this panel here and die cut out the center. Now this is specialty cardstock from Spellbinders, which is like gold to any paper crafter. The fancy papers, I don't want to waste any of it. So I'm going to take out the center of it with a nesting die. It's just a simple rectangle. Now I have that center to use on other projects, and then my little cherry panel will go right on top. Now you might be looking at it and going, why did you waste your specialty paper for a border? Because in person it looks amazing. On camera, it's really not doing it any justice. So sorry about that. But in person, that edge is shiny and it just catches your eye in the very smallest way. That is very interesting. All right, how adorable is this little pig? You can add wings or not, but I think it's adorable with wings. So we're going to add little wings because of the phrase "when pigs fly," which I think is always silly. I'm going to add the little eyeball to the back, and then I'm going to add the little detail piece to the ear and the nose. I'm also adding a black eye dot for the pig to kind of come to life. I like things to have a little more life to them. So if there's an eye or something, I like to add either a shine or a dot for the eye. Now that black gel pen is different than the white gel pen that I typically use. It is a glaze gel pen. I don't know why I said gel pen. Minnesota accent coming out there. It's a glaze gel pen. So it dries with a shine. Very fun. This little cherry duo is just so adorable. I kind of goofed and I put the glue on top, but the glue goes underneath the stems, so the stem looks like it is coming out of the cherry. Now, with the keychains, there is no right or wrong way to add these keychains on to the purse, or really to use them at all, because you can have a keychain go all sorts of different ways. You could have the chain come from the leaves. You could have them come from the actual cherries. It does not matter. It's going to look adorable no matter what way you end up adding that. Now, if you remember at the beginning of this video, I said there would be a spinning egg in this video, and it's not going to be this egg. So keep watching to see the spinning egg. All right, the little pig is also going to be a keychain. So this purse will have 3 keychains. We're going to have a flying pig, cherries, and a fried egg, because that is very Betsy Johnson coded. I've been looking at Lisa Horton inks a lot recently. Her interference inks are just so fabulous. And then the metallic inks are so cool as well, and really fun to BetterPress with black paper. Just saying. Speaking of black cardstock, if you are like me and love all things black with card making, definitely check out the black cardstock from the Pajama Crafter Stamps channel, or Pajama Crafter Stamps website. I will have that linked down below as well, because their black cardstock you can glimmer on, and it is so gorgeous. So you can also BetterPress with your glimmer as well. Now, oh my, the cherries are getting cut. Oh no, just kidding. They're just really long. So I'm just going to move up the cherries on the stem and just give them a little bit of a hem, if you will. Technically, the purse die is made for a 5x7 card. I did not follow that guideline. I did my own thing, because that is just kind of who I am when I'm making cards. I am doing this as a little bit of a form of art therapy, and I make it however I want. I will cut things, I will cut dies, I will cut stamps. I do things however I want, and this die looks adorable whether you want to do a 5x7 card, A2. You could even do a shaped card with this purse die, and it would even be good for an A9 size card. What? What is an A9 size card? You might be asking. Well, take a piece of paper, a regular piece of paper, so 8.5 by 11, fold it in half. That is an A9. It is huge. Tons of real estate to decorate. And if you are a craft roulette person, you might know the lore of the A9 is a little bit scary. A lot of people don't like to do them because it is so big. But if you're like me and you like a lot of things on your card, I am certainly not really a minimalist when it comes to most of my cards. I think an A9 is kind of fun. I've only made 2, but it's always a possibility. 5x7 is kind of a fun size as well. And everyone loves a slimline, right? Okay. I could talk paper for forever. I always tease if anyone ever kidnapped me, I wouldn't stop talking about kindergarten and crafting, and they would say, all right, we're going to bring you back. Okay. Moving right along. I'm adding my little keychains on here, but I am not going to glue them on the back because I want the keychains to wiggle when the card is finished, as if they were really keychains. So I'm going to adhere the bow there. Shout out to the reverse tweezers for being the the third and fourth hand that I do not have and holding things in place for me. There we go. See, it will move. So cute. I want the little piggy in the front because it's adorable. But I will go ahead and adhere them together so they are not going to kind of move around too much and get tangled together or have any of the items not show. So I'm just going to take a little bit of some thicker white cardstock and add some double-sided adhesive to the back and then secure them that way. No one will ever see the back of this anyway, so it does not matter. But it will just keep things secure. And I do like to do that for cards that have any moving elements, just in case anything gets wiggled or bumped too much. Yay, it wiggles. How fun is that? So fun. Oh man, this holographic cardstock though is so gorgeous. They even have one from Pajama Crafter Stamps that is kind of like a toolbox. The texture is crazy cool. So, like I said, check it out. Very, very affordable paper. I am using lots of fun things from Glassboard Studio as well. If you were following along on my channel last month, I had a special coupon code which gave you 20% off of Glassboard Studios. Now, I will have more discounts for them coming up in November, so be sure to check out my Instagram, and then also on Facebook. I have a Facebook group called Stationery Maker Group, and that is another place where I put all the information for some of the fun sales or giveaways that I'm doing. Speaking of which, I am going to be working with Altenew this month. So if you are an Altenew person or enjoy products from Altenew, check out my channel, my Instagram, Facebook group. This month, I'm going to be doing a giveaway. I'm going to be showcasing some new products that they have coming out. Their new products come out on November 4th. So just in a few days, and they're really adorable and so gorgeous. I think their stuff is very elegant. So definitely be on the lookout for that, as well as a giveaway. We always love a giveaway, and it will be a monetary, like a shopping voucher. So you can buy whatever you want. That is really cool. So thank you to Altenew for that. And if you love crafty subscriptions like the Spellbinders clubs like you're watching right now, I also will be receiving the Hero Arts Hero Studio like I have for the last couple months. But if you don't know, Hero Studio is Hero Arts subscriptions, and they're really cool. And this month they are all book themed. So be on the lookout for some of those cards coming your way on my Instagram, and I'll be showing those as well. And then I do want to mention I am on the design team for Trinity, so I will be having some of those videos as well coming out to you this month. I just want to tell you that there's a lot happening in my real life and day job, so I will be slowing down a teeny tiny bit on YouTube, not be posting videos all of the time, but still having quite a lot of things out there for you. So be sure to subscribe, but I'm not going to be posting a video every other day like I had been doing in the summer, just because I do have a job where I am going into a lot because I teach kindergarten, but I will not leave you high and dry at all. I still will have plenty of content out there for you on YouTube, so be sure to check that out. Now, I wanted to make these keychains a little bit more plasticky. And to do that, yes, I said plasticky. To do that, I actually ran out of glossy accents. This little tiny tube finally bit the dust, and I'm just going to set those two off to the side as they dry. And I'll continue on to my next card. Now this one, I used the 3D embossing folder of the month on some paper that I made with BB Cameron's watercolor drops, watercolor colors, that's what they're called. And I used black watercolor paper to do that. I have a video where I made those papers from her stuff, so I will show that, or I'll have that linked down below. It was a live video and it was super fun just to play around with her watercolors. They are amazing, and I built up quite a good little cache of papers that I can now grab and use whenever I am feeling inspired to make different cards. Now for these little glasses, there are these teeny tiny little dots that get die cut out. So what I did was I put double-sided adhesive behind the die, and I am just inlaying them with my Trinity pickup stick. This is my favorite pickup stick tool. It is fantastic, and it is a higher quality wax than others that I've used in the past, and it does not crumble. So it is amazing. So if you want to check that out, I will have that linked in the visual link playlist as well. Look at my little tidy tray off to the side is getting all full of little scraps from Glassboard Studio. I am really enjoying using that as I work here today. And I used that circle die from my stash from Spellbinders. That is a retired one, the fluted circles, as a little landing spot for my items. I love circles on cards, and this one just looked really elegant with that rectangle nesting die that I have going around the border. I'm nearly done with this card. I will add these little champagne flutes or wine glasses, however you want to see them, as a little bit of a focal point, and then have my sentiment off to the side. These sentiments are from the set that came out from Spellbinders late in October, or early October actually, and I had them on hand, and I thought it would be cute to make a little wedding card with the little toasting champagne glasses. It's kind of a classy one with that black and silvery bluish color. All right, back to my gal on the go with her little dog. The BetterPress ink dries almost immediately, so it's not like she had to dry or anything, but I just decided to set it off to the side so I could think about how I wanted to finish off the card. What I was really hoping for was using some colored pencil. Now I just pulled out some white because I wanted to see what it looked like, but I do have this A2 T-square ruler from Pear Blossom Press. I will link down below, but it really can help give you a fast straight line easily. You saw how easy it was to create the ground. And then I'm just shading under the spots where it would have a shadow. So under each foot and then under the wee little dog. So adorable. Very simple. Nothing too crazy. Just a little bit of a hint of a shadow. I'm almost wondering if these nesting dies, the set specifically, is going to be my new little mini obsession. Sometimes I get something into my craft room and it's so good that I want to use it on every project. And this one was perfect for framing my girl and her dog. It's just perfectly framed. I think that size is almost made for this BetterPress card. Now I'm taking some cardstock from Spellbinders. This is the color. Let's grab it. Orchid. It's such a beautiful color, orchid. And it does go well with my pattern paper. Now I love it so much, I will cut out the center so I don't waste any of it. Just like that black cardstock from before. So that will be saved for later, and no one will even know that the back is cut out because it was going to go onto a card base. Now to glue on all of the little fussy cut pieces for the skirt, the shoes, the hat. I almost wish I would have done her little scarf as well, and maybe her coffee in another color, but I think sometimes less is more, so we're going to do that. I can't believe I just said that out of my mouth. Less is more is definitely not my style, so don't take that as advice from me because I have no idea how to do clean and simple well. I try. I really do try, but it just, more is more to me a lot of times when I'm making cards. I must find it hard to do clean and simple, but this girl with her dog would be a really cute one if you just wanted a very simple pressed image and to have it that way. Almost looks like my reverse tweezers there are coming to life. I think it's when I had my little desk fan going, so don't mind that. I am going to cover up my gal and splatter. I told you less is not more in my mind. More is more. So I'm going to take this splatter from Spellbinders, which I think is really fun and easy to use. It is called Raven, and it creates a very fun black spatter or splatter. Let me know in the comments. Are you team splatter, or team spatter? Let me know. But using little scraps definitely helped cover up my focal point, but you could also just spatter or splatter before you pressed, but I find this is a little bit easier to do afterwards because I know that I'm not going to get a little dot where I want my image to be. So I did end up using Raven, but I did pull in the sparkly one as well, which is just so gorgeous. I don't have the name of it on the camera, but I do have it here on my desk within arm's reach. It's called just Sparkle. So gorgeous. I, again, wish I could pass it through the screen to you to try out for yourself, but it just kind of is like a little nail polish and oh, so sparkly. Whoops, I messed that up, so I'm going to do it one more time. What did I mess up? You might be wondering. I just put my finger over where I had used my anti-static tool, so I just am going to do it again. And yep, I'm leaving the mistake in there because I love to give reminders on YouTube that 0 people are perfect, especially when creating and making art. So if my mistake encourages you to keep going through your mistakes, I hope that helps you. Oh, I love a bubble cut sentiment, and I love it popped up, and I love it with some white embossing powder. It is my favorite, and I love a sparkly moment. I love all the things. So I'm adding these beautiful gems from Spellbinders to my finished card. This is the Crystal Mix. I love this set so much that I gave 8 away last summer. Yup, 8. Because I felt other people should have these in their craft room, and it was a little bit of a thank you giveaway. I do a lot of giveaways, so like I said, join my Facebook group, Stationery Maker Group. That's where I do a lot of my giveaways. I also do monthly challenges over there, and I give away something each month, so be sure to be on the lookout for that. I think this next month I'll be giving away a cherry stencil, so one of the stencils of the month. Not the one that I used, but a new one. I personally subscribe to the Stencil of the Month Club and use that as one of my giveaways for some of my things. So if you're interested, definitely try out the giveaway. It's a random selected picker. I have a very helpful friend who manages all of that, so it's totally random and you have just as much of a chance to win as anyone else. Now, I promised you a spinning and sliding egg, so here it is. What am I using to make that happen? I'm using these snap sliders from Pear Blossom Press and a die set from Trinity Stamps. The die is going to create a track for my little egg to slide around in. And this little circle die that I've been raving about for the last, almost an hour now, I've been talking about this circle die, is going to be acting as my plate. So it's going to look kind of like a little paper plate. Now the little track has a little piece that comes out. I put that on to my pattern paper that I'm using as the tablecloth because I want it to look like a plate behind the egg. So if it moves, it is going to still have that white plate color behind it, so it does not look like the plate has a hole in the plate, because no one needs a hole in their breakfast plate. So that is why I ended up gluing that right down to my card base. Now I'm going to use some foam here to pop the plate up and add the one side of the little snap to the bottom there, and it's sticking out and it will slide around. Now, if you use these and you have any troubles, just ask me. And if you're having any resistance with your sliding, you can always use a little bit of anti-static powder in there and it just helps it glide even easier. But I promise you, these are the easiest snap and slides ever. Look at that spinning egg. It's amazing. I love it. That little glue dot was all I needed to adhere my die to the snap. So simple. Now I'm going to go a little rogue and just make a spinning waffle too. And I'm using my poke and pick tool from Trinity, and I'm just stabbing my project and putting the little snap through here. Now, if I were to do this again, I would put it under the plate. So I'm going to lift it up and put it under the plate, not going through the cardstock, just so it's level with my foam. And then it will spin. It won't spin as freely as the other one because I have some paper here in the way, but I'm telling you, these snaps are so easy to use. And if I would have planned for this one to spin as well, I would have used a die to cut a little bit of a hole instead of using my tool just to make a hole. But the little waffle will spin, not like the egg, but it will spin. See? So cute. Don't you want to have brunch now? This is making me hungry. I wish I could pass this card through the screen to you so you could spin the little egg as well. I'm going to finish this card off with a sentiment. After I am finished with this video and all the chat at the end, I ended up adding some embellishments to the bottom. So check out the finished card picture at the very, very end of the video and you will get a glimpse of that. I added strawberries from the set as well and the bacon, and I pulled the avocado and the orange slice from the Sip Sip Olay die set that came out last month. I'll have that die set linked down below as well, but it just makes me think of that little kid saying, "Oh, look, an avocado." I'm going to finish this card off with adding white gel pen to the highlights and then going back with some Copic markers to darken up the waffle area and add some gray marker to the egg just to give it even more shadow. And then the black glaze I ended up adding to the strawberries as if they were part of the little seeds. I know strawberry seeds are kind of that yellow, so that's why I have yellow behind the holes. And then adding just some more shadow with that black glazed gel pen. I think it's really a fun one to use. So would you be my brunch date, best mate? This card's for you. How cute is that? Oh, it's just so fun. And that bacon is so smiley. I'm going to use that bacon in another card. All right, moving on to my stitching card. Here we are with my very actually romantic little dog in a purse. And some might think that this is kind of silly, but I really enjoy stitching on cards and I think it adds a great texture. So here's my code word. Dog. My code word is always different. And now the code word is just something that you can write in the comments and I will know and you will know that you watched into the meat and the potatoes of this video and watched and found that code word. You put it in the comments. It's just for fun. All right, moving on. I love stitching on cards. It is so fun to add texture to projects. And I also love stitching all of the time, like in my living room, on the go, road trips, outside, inside. You can stitch anywhere. And I really enjoyed this one because it reminded me of a new song that just came out in October, on October 3rd, if you get my drift. And it also reminded me of Legally Blonde, which with the little dog Bruiser. So that is kind of the inspiration for this card. But for stitching, I like to put a little piece of tape on the back and then I will simply just stitch. And this one, there really is no right or wrong way to add texture. This is stitching a little purse or a dog carrying bag. So it can be however you want. You can follow the little lines on there or not. I just kind of went rogue and just made a whole bunch of stitches. And then at the end, I actually run out of thread and I think, I'm going to put a bow on here anyway, so I don't even finish the stitching and it turns out super cute anyway. Now, if you are not wanting to stitch, you're looking at this going, there's no way I'm going to do this. that's okay. You can still use this die and get a really cute little dog in a bag, and you don't have to stitch. Yes, bag. Oh. And you can get a really cute project as well. The holes just add extra texture. There are lines there that add texture on the die as well. So it is a-okay if you do not want to stitch. But let's say you do want to stitch and you have no idea how to. I have a few videos. Actually, it's a 2-part playlist on my channel that is like a stitching 101 class for you. I talk to you about how to stitch, the different stitches that I know and use a lot, the materials I use. Everything is exactly the same as those 2 videos. That's the advice I would give you today if you asked me. The only difference is I don't really use the thread magic as much as I used to. I know. Really, it's because I'm a little bit more adventurous with my thread. If it's a knot, whatever, we're going to either try to get it out or we're snipping it and we're moving right along. I do not want to have time to deal with knots. So there's that. Nothing against thread magic. I don't use it as much. But those videos I've heard are very helpful for anyone who wants to learn about stitching. So like I said, I ran out of thread, but there's a little bit of a bald spot on my bag. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Oh my, do you see holographic cardstock again? Haha, I do. And that holographic cardstock is again from Pajama Crafter Stamps. I adore a fancy cardstock, and that one does not disappoint. Now, this dog has a little die for the neck, so I'm just going to adhere that with a little bit of some glue. And then there are these extra detail pieces for the dies for the little sweater that our little bruiser can wear. So I die cut those out in pink as if it was a pink and holographic rainbow striped little outfit for my guy. That little piece, I had no idea where that went, but I will remember by the end of this video, so don't worry. We popped Bruiser in the bag and we are good to go. I'm going to use that magnet there from Glassboard Studios just to hold everything down. I'm going to adhere my stitched area with some liquid glue. Yes, I know you might be asking, do you like the glue press? Yes, I do. Do I get glue clogs? Rarely. So there you go. I always used to get glue clogs when I used just a regular glue bottle with a little needle in it. I would get glue clogs multiple times during my crafting sessions. I rarely get glue clogs with my glue press. So if glue clogs drive you bananas like it drove me bananas, I would recommend it. I've also heard it helps with hands and any kind of mobility issues. It can help with people who have arthritis. My friend Irene has mentioned that to me as well. So I don't have arthritis, but I don't want any kind of arthritis or carpal tunnel anytime soon or early in my life. So I'm taking measures to hopefully prevent that by using this. I'm not a doctor, so don't take any medical advice from me, but I do like this glue press, all right? People ask me all of the time. Now, Bruiser is so cute, and I am so mad at myself for not putting this Bruiser little head on one of those little interactive things from Pear Blossom Press, the snap and slides. Why did I not do that? Oh, I got to make another card and have his head go on a snap and slide so he can tilt his head like a little dog when they are looking at you and they're going, what? What are you doing? Can I have a treat? Give me the cheese stick. So I've got to do that. And of course I put his little ears on Wonky because that is just how it is, you know. Our family dog is a Yorkie and his ears are a little bit crazy pants sometimes. So that's the vibe that we were going for here, as well as Bruiser from Legally Blonde. Okay, we're off the deep end again. Back to the project. I used my embossing folder from the regular embossing folder club for this month. I'm going to set the purse off to the side just a little bit because I have to have the sentiment on this card. And yep, the head just got ripped right off. Oh boy. Because like I said, I need the sentiment on this card because it says where there's a woman, there's a way. Is that not just like perfect for a Legally Blonde card? I think so. And I made this card because I'm part of a fandom hop that is the third Friday of the month, and it's on Instagram. It's super fun, and this month it's musical themed, and Legally Blonde was a musical, so haha, I have my hop card done for my hop for this month. So again, check out my Instagram, Stationery by Justine, and you can hop along later this month if you want more cool inspirations, and you can follow the people on the hop. There's some fantastic creators there. I've been all about finding new crafty people to follow. So if you are aware of somebody you watch on YouTube who maybe is a smaller creator, someone who's under 50, 80,000, I would consider small, go ahead and let me know down in the comments, who are you watching? Who are you loving to gain inspiration from? Because I love card making. If you can't tell, I'm just, a little bit obsessed with it, and I use it for an outlet. So I'm always looking for new creative things to watch and try out. So if you know of a smaller creator, let me know in the comments, and we can follow some more fun people. Wouldn't that be nice? All right, more adhesive gems, because all of the gems and all of the places are perfect for this Legally Blonde card. Oh my gosh, look at that holographic paper. So cute. All right, we got to move along, and we're moving to a part of my life that is one of my favorite parts of my life, which is my kindergarten side of my personality. And we're going to make a green eggs and ham bookmark, because why not, right? We have an egg die after all. I have taken the little eyelet die from that die set from Trinity that has the tracks for those snap and slides, and I die cut out the spot where the little bookmark is going to go, or the little tassel is going to go. And then I have this sentiment, which I thought is just so funny. It says, "Life is more fun with a little flair." Ain't that the truth? And look at that gorgeous black cardstock. Oh, that is from the Treasure cardstock from Spellbinders. You know I love black, and I love sparkles, so that is just so pretty to look at, in my opinion. All right, I'm going to rearrange these eggs so they're kind of scattered, similar to the vibe I was going for with the dice. And then I'll just trim off the sides with my little detail scissors from Spellbinders. These, again, are non-stick, so any glue that is already on that paper is not even going to affect anything. Look, they're just flying right off the scissors. They're not even sticking. So fun. Oh, by the way, did you notice a change in scenery? I'm using my new Glassboard studio board here in this video, so I hope you like it. I had a whole video go up on my channel about the new things from Glassboard Studio, so I will link that down below as well if you missed the little update video. But I loved having the new things from them to try out, and when I was filming the clubs here this month, I really gave it a good try and had fun with it. And then I made another video after filming this one, but not before it went up, so you can get a little insight into that. All right, my bookmark, I love a sturdy bookmark, so I'm going to have it be 3 layers of paper thick. It works for me. And of course, I'm going to do little rosy cheeks on all of the green eggs, because that's cute and I like cute things. So this bookmark is actually a pack of bookmarks that I got when my local craft shop was closing. I'm still mourning the loss of that. I think it's tragic when any small business closes, but when a crafty one closes, it's just horrible. But I just picked up these bookmarks that were just standard bookmarks, and I'm going to glue my black panel to it. So it is now 3 layers of paper thick, 2 white panels and 1 black panel. Then I'll just take my scissors and trim around to cut off any of the extra black paper so it has a clean border. And then afterwards, I'm going to add that little green eyelet that I die cut out with the same green cardstock that I cut out the centers of the yolks for. That green cardstock was actually Astro Bright's cardstock, and I just picked that up at Walmart, and it is very bright green, but it's just a nice paper. I like Astro Brights. I use it in my classroom. I like color. I love black and bright looks so good together. Now these tassels, I did not make that tassel. I actually bought a pack of tassels on Amazon a long time ago, and I finally got to use them. Now, when I saw this little bacon die, I knew I needed to pull in this hand die that is from Spellbinders and have the very elegant looking hand hold the bacon, because I think that is just so funny to me. I don't know why. This is me. This video is so my style. At first when I saw the clubs, I thought, oh, okay, what am I going to make? I was a little bit puzzled because my style is kind of evolving as I go and make more and more cards. And I really just took a step back and I just laid everything out on my craft room table, and I just took a chance to really brainstorm. And this bacon card was so fun, and I had to make it. It's so incredibly simple. It's a hand die, a bacon, a fun sentiment, and some nesting dies, and I just adore it. I think it is so fun and silly and so me. All right, speaking of so me, we have 3 versions of the purse card. You saw the Betsy Johnson card at the beginning of this video, and now here's a look into the Vera Bradley version of the purses. Her purses are very quilted and have more of a detailed floral pattern, so I'm grabbing this cardstock from scrapbook.com. I used the embossing folder to emboss that gorgeous cardstock, and then I added these little pearls to all of the pucker points for the stitching. And I think it is so perfect for a Vera Bradley style purse. I'll add this little bow on there so it looks like it's tied around. And like I said, this is an A7 or an A2 sized card. So it is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. But you could certainly take this purse die and bump it up to that 5 by 7 size, which is the original size that this die was made for. Or even go crazy and go that A9 size and make it big and just fill it with so many fun keychains and fun sentiments. Just hit full send, friend, On this one, I will also be adding details with that white gel pen and just making little highlight areas. Now you might notice on where I just wrote and did those white highlights, there's some weird bumps that I have going on there. I don't know what I was doing with my glue gun, but I think I kind of just pushed it really hard when I put it onto the project. So I'm going to cover up that mistake with a sparkle spot from Trinity Stamps, because that's what we do as card makers. You make a mistake, put an embellishment over it, put an extra sentiment on it, die cut out a heart, just make it work, Tim Gunn style. Make it work, people. All right, we're now to the fancy card. This is more of a elegant purse. Now, I have told you I love black. Black purses are my favorite. So if I had to pick which purse I would buy from the store, from my 3 purses that I've made in this video, this black one with the rose gold glimmer would be the one I would be buying any day, because a black purse, oof, that thing goes with anything, I'm going to pair this beautiful black cardstock and that blush glimmer with this pretty, what is it called? I think I have the name of it. Waterfall color paper from Spellbinders. Sorry, I've been saying scrapbook.com because of all that pattern paper, but this one is from Spellbinders, that beautiful waterfall color paper. It's been a morning, is from Spellbinders. And then I have that treasured cardstock paper as well. This is the shiny rose gold version. So I hope that you have been able to watch the whole video. If you saw a little hidden message word or phrase in the video, make sure to comment it down below when you're picking a favorite. I really appreciate you watching the making part of this video. So if you did, thank you for being here. And let's take one more final look at all of the finished cards that I have made with this month's clubs. Wow, this month's clubs have been so much fun. Before I show you my finished cards, let's take a look at what has ended up in my tray here from Glassboard Studio. There's that little rhinestone that I was looking for. But now I can take all of these little paper scraps and just bring this over to my recycling bin and simply just put it in there. Really simple. I think I said simple like 4 times. So sorry. But it really is that easy. Now I can have a clean crafting area, so I'm happy about that. Let's check in on the tools as we can here. Look, this is the large tray, medium, small. So the plan was for the video to use this medium one as my paper garbage, which ends up being recycling. And then my tools, because I'm right-handed, so it's going to be on the right side. And then this is where a lot of my little extra die cuts were going to land if I decided to edit my card as I was going and not use certain pieces. And so I can pull for these later if I wanted to make another purse card. I have some holographic ones already ready to go. I have a bow with a gorgeous shadow cardstock there. I have backgrounds for the dice, arms and legs for little characters, and more. So that's great. My tools are looking great. Now all I can do to clean up is just put some of these things back where I keep them. I usually keep my adhesive off to the left of my filming area. And then I put my lid back on, and then I will store one of these just off to the side. I have a little, what's it called? I can't reach it right now, but it's one of these things from scrapbook.com. By the way, they work really well for holding blending brushes. This will go back into my stitching area, but I think I'm going to leave these items in the tray. Well, maybe not the colored pencils, but certainly these items, because these are what I use on so many of my cards. The black is a new addition to my craft room, and I'm loving it, and I thought it worked really well. But I think this will just live right here from now on. And an update on these. I think they're really cool, and I'm excited to use them more for embellishments in the future and potentially have some cleanup with that. And then I can take these and just dump them in where I keep my sentiments. I need to organize them better. I just haven't taken the time to do so yet. Although I am loving this board. Now, let's just be really blunt here. I've been using Glassboard Studio Glassboards for a long, long time. Many, many years. So I do have it still. It's right there. This one I use most of the time for filming. And my husband actually took an etched glass thing, chemical, whatever you want to call it, to this. I don't recommend that. So just know that. But I do get questions a lot, like, how do you film without a glare? Because you can see there is a glare from my light without using the etched version. I am hoping so badly that Glassboard Studio comes out with one that isn't so shiny, but the cleanup on the shiny version is so nice. So anyway, that's just a little chat about that. I just think it is so gorgeous. And there was a few times where I was filming here and I walked away to either get a snack or answer a phone call, whatever, went to work, came back, and every time I came back to sit down to craft, I just was smiling looking at these gorgeous flowers. And then to clean it, I just use some water that I keep in a little spray bottle, and then just a microfiber cloth. And this thing looks brand new. It's ridiculously lovely. And oh, hello, the magnets. You're going to see me use the magnets more because I did just get more magnets in my craft room. So I have these two little blue guys. Whoa. So very sorry. These magnets are strong and I do keep them on my microphone. And then I grabbed this light blue one. I thought I grabbed teal. Oops. But this is still just as gorgeous. And then this one I got in a retreat that I did this fall. So anyway, my point is I'm loving it. And like I said before in the video, if you use my code JustineD, you will get a discount of 15% off. Hooray. Anyway, all right, let's talk about the cards that I made because that is why we're here today. Shocker. I would love for you to pick a favorite of the projects as we go along here, and then just let me know in the comments. I'm going to put the bookmark in the middle because it is a different shape than the other ones. It's definitely different than what I usually make when I am doing cards. I just adore everything about this card. I think the gal is so unique with being better pressed with pattern paper that's been glimmered on. Unbelievable. Love it. And I love her little dog. I love the over the topness of this one. And yes, I did run out of glossy accents, but whenever that does come in the mail, whenever I get that brought back into my craft room, I probably will go ahead and add glossy accents to the cherry or not. I don't know. But the way that this dried is kind of fun. The egg was very smooth, and with running out, the pig got a little bit of texture on it, but whatever, that's fine because pigs are not smooth. Their skin is kind of like, I don't know how to describe a pig skin. Yeah, whatever. I haven't really been around that many pigs to be anyway. Moving on. I love the holographic paper on here. Friendly reminder, that paper is from Pajama Crafter Stamps. Gorgeous. I will link that in the description if you want to pick that up for yourself. This egg card I think is super fun with the spinning egg and the spinning waffle. It's just ridiculously cute. Yes, I still need to put this on a card base. I will off camera. This die, like I said, is a full A2, so this is what it would be if it was on a card base. It would be a little bit more firm in the back, but this is basically the concept. I might add a few more embellishments on here, maybe just like the flat circles from Spellbinders. We'll see, like the enamel dots, I think is what they're called. So that might happen in the finished picture. You might see that. But remember that these snaps are from Pear Blossom Press. I will have a link for them down below, and I will also have a link for the die that I used to make the track for the egg move. Just ridiculously fun. I'm obsessed. I love interactive cards, and that was so easy. And yes, this is my Legally Blonde card. I'm going to use this one for a hop later this month. So be sure to check out my Instagram, Stationery by Justine, to be part of that fun hop. It is really a fun one. And this one will be perfect for this month's theme. And then, of course, I have two more purse cards. This one with that gorgeous glimmer on there, and then I used a coordinating fancy gorgeous paper from Spellbinders. Whoops, that needs a little more glue to match my foil. Little glue doesn't hurt anybody, right? There we go. But just really pretty and so shiny. That's almost like that patent leather look. And this one reminds me of like the Vera Bradley look, and I like a purse, okay? So to me, this one is very, what is her name? It is escaping me. It will come to me. I will put it on the screen. This one reminds me of like Marc Jacobs. I do not have a Marc Jacobs purse, but like that's what it reminds me of. And this reminds me of Vera Bradley with that like quilted look with some fun pearls. I don't know. To me, it's just so fun to make these really me style cards, we'll just say. Very fun and cute. And if they're not cute, they're definitely over the top, etc. And the silly ones lucky to have you with this adorable little bacon. He's so cute. So here's the little bacon card, and this one made my husband chuckle, so that was fun to make as well. All right, so let's see. We have 8 projects this month. So let me know which one is your favorite. I think this month my favorite has to be this one. Oh, it's just going to bother me so much not remembering the name of the designer that this reminds me of. Y'all, it's Betsy Johnson. I can't believe I forgot. But yes, this reminds me of Betsy Johnson, which is very 2000s, 10s vibes. And it just makes me kind of smile because I had a lovely youth. And this just reminds me of something that I would have loved to carry as a teenager, which, you know, that's a whole nother can of worms. We'll leave it at that. But we will leave it at that. Let me know which one is your favorite. I really appreciate you taking the time to watch my club video. I know it's always my longest video of the month, but remember, I do have a lot of fun things coming up this month on my channel. So be sure to subscribe and click that notification bell so you can be aware of some fun things that are coming up, and YouTube will actually notify you of those things. You don't have to go searching for it. So that always makes it a little bit easier. Have a very happy November. Bye, crafty friend.